Baseball Award Show, or the OBAs. These are a collection of awards that I want to give to people that aren't Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. I want to give some shout outs to not only players, not only people in the game of baseball, but people that watch it, interact with it. So the team and I, we came up with some categories. I've done this in the past. I did a video a couple years ago called the Underrated Awards that kind of highlighted a lot of guys who did really interesting things that no one publicly was really talking about. I wanted to expand on that. I want to do this every single year. So this is something we will do. We have a bunch of those categories, and then we have 8 community categories that we got over 500 people voting on this last year. I tried to post it everywhere I could. Try to stay on top of it as I am very busy. In the future, someone else is gonna handle like getting that out on social media all the time, and it'll be a little bit more in your face probably, but 500 votes is pretty good. So to the 500 of you that voted, thank you. For the 500 of you that didn't vote, what are you doing? We're gonna pop into it, and there's a lot of interesting things here, and I wanna know what you guys think in the comments below, or in the chat below, or wherever you are. What is missing, who should have won things, who was snubbed. All of that stuff's important. Because if you don't complain, how will I ever know? Okay. Woo. Award number 1. We have the Greg Maddux Award, awarded to the pitcher that put up the most Greg Maddoxy type of year. Were there some strikeouts? Sure. But it's about longevity. It's about quality starts. It's about dip diving and dodging them. It's about using your defense, and it's about taking the ball every 5 days. It's about being a professor. And it came down to a couple guys, but I decided to do one. So, without further ado, the winner of the Maddux Award, Logan Webb. So Logan Webb had a sneaky, very good year. He's probably the first chair in the Greg Maddux class in the current major leagues. Him or Nola probably would be my guess. Guys who pitch with that same aura. All right, Logan Webb, 207 innings pitched with a 5.4% walk rate. Greg would be proud. He had 22 quality starts out of 32. So he threw 6 innings and gave up 3 or less runs in 22 of his 32 starts. Yes. Ignore the Tommy John scar. He only allowed 14 home runs. For context, I'm pretty sure Jeff Hoffman allowed more than that, and he was a reliever. Like, 14's really low. It's a really low number for 207 innings. That's crazy. He had a 107 location plus and a 111 pitching plus. This is a stat built on Fangraphs that kind of takes all of the metrics in and tries to give you a rating. That's about 7% higher than average. I believe like the highest number is like a 115. So like that's very good command. He struck out 116 in 207 innings, his highest ever. And he was in the conversation top 5 for the Cy Young. Just chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Now he's not Paul Skeens. He had a 3 ERA, but he had a very good year. So shout out to Logan Webb for the year he had. And honorable mention obviously is Yoshi Yamamoto. He had a 110 location plus and pitching plus, but again, he's on the Dodgers, and we talk about him all the time, and he was just the MVP of the World Series, so boo. So we're going to go with Logan Webb. Congratulations, Logan. All right, next up, the He Could Be a Savannah Banana Award. Now, this goes to the people, actually, because there's 2. And we kind of divided this into an A and B category. A is vibes, B is play. So what guy could do crazy stuff like backflip and make crazy trick plays? And then what guy, just vibes-wise, would probably be great doing some dances? They don't necessarily have to be the same person, so we went with 2. And I really want to know what you guys think, but here's the 2 guys that we did. We're going to start with vibes. First up, the Could Be a Savannah Banana Award for good vibes is Drew Gilbert, who is getting choked by his teammate right here, right in front of your face. That was just a little one. You can see Matt Chapman's like, this is awkward, but I like it. Yeah, Drew Gilbert traded from the Mets over to the Giants at the break and just was like, hey guys, you guys want to punch me? I'm in. Like, Just vibes. You got the boys going. Moving on. Who do you think the player is that could be a Savannah Banana? Dalton Varsho. I saw it in the chat. Someone in the chat said it. Dalton Varsho, definitely. The guy caught a ball like this behind his back. I guarantee you he could just do a standing backflip. He used to be a catcher, and now he's like a Gold Glove center fielder. Big guy. Big Savannah Banana energy. He's kind of quiet, though, so I think it would just be trick plays and the smirks. But if you combine him and Gilbert together, now that's a Savannah Banana. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, the Kike Hernandez Award, obviously, is reserved for the guy that maybe isn't the best in the regular season, but just showed up in the playoffs. And this is tricky because Kike Hernandez was literally in the playoffs again this year. Though he did have some big hits, he wasn't his prototypical self. There was someone else that we just didn't think was gonna produce that did. It's a little bit outside the box. There's a lot of people that could be this person, but we decided to go with Mad Max Scherzer. He came out, he did way more than anyone thought he would. He had a 12 ERA in the first inning all year, I myself included. Really counted him out, and just came back into the playoffs. And what he did, he went 1-0 through 14 and a third innings, gave up 6 runs, and almost won a World Series. I think he is really underrated with what he provided for a team that was really light on starting pitching. He did a great job, him and Shane Bieber. Max Scherzer, congratulations. Oh, also, he's probably going to go to the Hall of Fame. I think he's got 3 Cy Youngs. He's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, moving on. Next up, we have the forgot he was there award, which goes to the pitcher that allowed the most stolen bases in the fewest amount of innings. This was my favorite one. If you watched the prior video where I had this before, it was Adam Ottavino, and the reason I made this up was because I wanted to give it to Adam Ottavino because he gets run on all over the place, and this guy, for all intents and purposes, was 2025's Adam Ottavino. And I forgot he was there in 2025 was Seranthony Dominguez. Seranthony Dominguez gave up 19 stolen bases in 62 innings, and I chose this picture for 2 reasons. 1, his 8 is upside down, LOL. 2, he's checking a runner as if he's not going to give up a stolen base. Boy, howdy. Wow. Seranthony Milady Dominguez is your I forgot he was over there award winner in 2025. Let's work on that slide step, okay? All right, the Remember This All-Star award this year goes to a guy that was an All-Star this year that you probably already forgot was an All-Star this year. And there are one of these every single year, and so I want to make sure that we give a double tip of the cap to a guy who made an All-Star team to make exactly one more All-Star team than I made in my whole career.
No talent.
So congratulations, no shade. I just want to give you your flowers because you had a good year. And remember that guy from the All-Star team guy? Remember that? Shane Smith, Chicago White Sox, your Chicago White Sox All-Star this year. Shane Smith, Rule 5 guy. Congratulations, you, Shane. He actually finished the year really strong on a tough team. Going 7-8 with a 3.8 ERA in 146 innings, ate some innings, struck out 145 in those 146, and only allowed 117 hits for a 216 batting average. Really effective. And he also has like the biggest pitching arm I've ever seen. That's unrelated, but Shane Smith, congratulations on your All-Star. No one can take that away from you, and if everyone forgot, they shouldn't because you are an All-Star. Congratulations. All right, let's go to Game of the Year. There are a lot of games, all right? We just had the greatest World Series probably of my lifetime, or one of them. So it could be anything, right? Like we could Game 7 World Series. We could do Game 3 of the World Series. We could do Game 5 of the ALCS or ALDS. This game is not a game between 2 teams that were very good, but this game was good. It was a good game. It was a nail biter in all the not best ways. Let's just put it this way. If you were a pitcher in this game, in the bullpen, and you saw your friends going out there it was almost as if it felt like you were on one side of a pool full of sharks and everyone was walking across this little bridge and just falling off into the sharks. And you're like, well, I hope you don't call me down because this is not a day I want to pitch. And in all places, well, you're going to see. You know where it was at. This game was played in the Colorado Rockies against the Pittsburgh Pirates, where the Colorado Rockies took down the Pittsburgh Pirates in July. 17-16. You're looking at the win probability here. The Pirates blew not one, but two 9-run leads to lose the game. You see they got up 9-0, slowly whittled that down. Pittsburgh kept responding and then gave up 7 unanswered to get walked off by a 5 spot in the 9th inning. To probably show the saddest graph of all time.
Actually, this is the saddest graph of all time. 15 million Americans lost their jobs by 1930.
Though there wasn't a lot of differences, that's one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen, especially when the away team scores 9 and then scores 7 more and still loses. So I'm going to give this Game of the Year. Congratulations, Pirates in Colorado. Something to hang your hat on. At least the lineups. 33 runs scored and 40 total hits in 9 innings. That is incredible. Good job. Good job. Great job all around. All right, next up. The Platinum Glove in Our Hearts Award goes to someone who's really good with their glove but simply didn't do anything else enough to win a Gold Glove or a Platinum Glove, but they could have if they wanted to. Maybe they weren't up long enough. Maybe they got hurt. Let's do it. Let's see. It is Denzel Clark of the Athletics. This gentleman played in 47 games. He had 239 with a almost 40% K rate. But in those 47 games, he made about 8 of the most insane catches I've ever seen, and a couple of them were back-to-back. We have this one in LA. We have one in Sacramento. We have one in, I believe, Toronto, where he's just like, he basically flips over the wall every time. The guy is the best timing I've ever seen, and every catch he made was incredible. Denzel Clark, you are the Platinum Glove in our hearts. We would like to see more of that, my guy. Please keep it coming. Wow. Wow. Platinum Glove in our hearts. All right, moving on. I don't know why I did that. He's not. He's still with us. Okay, the Jose Ramirez Award goes for a guy who was really, really, really good, who was in the MVP conversation, but probably will never win one. Basically, it's a guy who had a very, very good season that I just not enough people talked about, and I would like to talk about. This year's Jose Ramirez Award goes to. We thought about giving it to Jose Ramirez, but that would be boring. This year, it goes to Geraldo Perdomo of the Arizona Diamondbacks. This guy was good, really good. He triple slashed 290, 389, 462, had an 851 OPS. He is a middle infielder. He is a shortstop. He just signed an extension with them. He hit 20 home runs, 100 RBIs. He struck out at a rate of 11.5%, which is very low, and walked at a 13.1% rate, which is higher than his K rate. He had a sub 20% chase rate, and on top of all of that, he had 5 outs above average, putting him in the 87th percentile in defense. So he's great defensively. He puts the ball in the play. He runs a little bit. He hit for pop. He hit people in. He got on base. Like, he just did everything. This guy's great. So Geraldo Perdomo, you are this year's Jose Ramirez, even though Jose Ramirez is this year's Jose Ramirez as well. But you can't give the guy his own award. I don't make the rules. I just make the rules. All right. So why did we care so much covering a story from this last year that ended up not meaning anything? And I think you can guess who we chose for this, or what we chose for this, because it's obvious, even though there is one little side note that actually does make it matter, just no one was really talking about it. So maybe you be the judge, I guess. You be the judge. You're always the judge. All right, let's do it. Why do we care so much about torpedo bats? Remember that? Remember Anthony Volpe hitting 2 home runs in a series, and we're like, blah, but the barrel was lower. But this bowling pin is making guys hit more homers. That ended up being not the biggest deal on the planet, though I will say, Cal Raleigh did use a torpedo bat all year and hit 60 homers. So people aren't like, that bat looks weird. I mean, maybe it was part of it, maybe it wasn't. We'll see, but torpedo bats, what do we think? Are we still angry about them? Are they breaking the game? Or is it just another innovation that is an adjustment to the game, and it's fine that it exists? Bat technology hasn't been updated in years, so I think it's interesting. I mean, any way you can do it. It turns out torpedo bats, not really that big of a deal. All right, next up, my favorite, and there may be some merch coming out for this award. That is something that I would like to add to this whole thing. Making some fun merch for the OBAs. The Hall of Famer award for the catcher that had the highest rate of strikes called in the shadow zone, and what that means is they stole most of the strikes. So balls that were close, how often was that ball in that shadow zone, basically within a certain amount of distance from the actual strike zone, and then how often was that actually called a strike? That is a Hall of Famer. And who is this year's Hall of Famer? It is. Oops. Lifetime Cleveland Guardian Austin Hedges, who just re-signed with him. Congratulations, Hedge. He has lots of fun playing baseball, and he had a shadow strike rate of 47.8% to lead the league. And honestly, doesn't surprise me one bit because the guy is known for his catching. Hitting isn't quite where the catching is, but you know, Martino Maldonado played for like 3,000 years, so like, do what you got to do. Not everyone's good at everything, and he's a great catcher. So congratulations, Hedge. You deserve it. Your plaque is in the mail, my friend, and the bonus you get. I'm going to send you some U.S. Treasury savings bonds. No, I'm not. You don't want those.
Actually, you do want those. If the crash of 1929 taught us anything, it's to be safe. Savings bonds are the best way to recession-proof your portfolio. Economists are currently bearish that the market will...